following program is a student production, produced by Manchester High School's broadcast journalism class. The thoughts and opinions in this program do not necessarily match the views of the town of Manchester.
Coming up on this edition of Manchester Monthly,
some major changes to a community agency seem to be on the horizon.
High school seniors had a serious decision to make this month.
And a springtime Manchester pastime continues.
We will have all that and much more coming up. I'm Tegan Welch.
And I'm Pat Levitt.
And this is Manchester Monthly. With new law regulations, MAC had a very tough choice to make. Do they stay open and change their policies, or do they choose to close on their own terms?
I'd like the board to get back to, if you can, I'd like a motion to approve, possibly authorize MAC the utilization of building at 466 Main Street absent an overnight shelter operation. It was moved by Director Galligan, seconded by Director Gates. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of authorizing MAC the utilization of building at 466 Main Street absent overnight shelter operation, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? The chair votes aye. It passes 8-0. Good luck and thank you for all you continue to do for our community and the surrounding communities. You do an awful lot for the region. Thank you.
The homeless shelter, I believe, and I'm not sure about the exact date, but I believe it was about 37 years ago that the town deeded this building over to MAC, and the idea was to run a homeless shelter in it, along with other services that would be provided. Prior to that, the churches that originated, the 14 original churches that made up MAC, were serving homeless people in the basements of their churches on any given week, and they took it about a week at a time.
The MAC homeless shelter is considered to be a dry shelter, which doesn't comply with the Housing First initiative. MAC has decided to close rather than comply to these new state rules of admitting any individual, even if they are intoxicated.
Our job really was, in 42 years ago, we were designed to help residents in Manchester and Bolton get back up on their feet. So if you lost your job, or if you you lost your housing for some reason, or you were ill, that it was a temporary help that you needed. So if it was a meal, or if it was an overnight shelter or whatever, and it was for Manchester and Bolton residents. And a few years ago in the 90s, when they went back to mental health hospitals being emptied, then we, MAC all of a sudden had 60% of people in the homeless shelter who were mentally ill. And then now this, not only were we dealing with that, but now we're asked to help with substance and alcohol abuse. So it just added another layer. It never was our intent to be experts in that field. So we needed to go back and really look at our mission, what was our mission, and our mission was to help our own residents get back up on their feet, not to house them while they slept off, being drunk or using illegal drugs. I just can't, just didn't mix with our mission.
MAC's decision to close the shelter has caused some concern about what is to happen to homeless individuals, because the health and safety of these people is an issue that needs to be addressed and resolved.
It's kind of twofold. I feel for, more maybe even threefold. I feel for the fact that I'm concerned about people living on the streets. In the cold of winter, like the winter we just had, or a couple of days we had this rain that was unbelievable. Where do people go?
And at the point that someone calls 211, sometimes they call from MAC shelter because they have to go through the system. But at the point that they make that phone call, they have to go through a screening process. And part of the rule change from last year was to try to institute a diversion process for keeping people out of shelters altogether. So they would be encouraged to stay where they are if it's safe, or to go to another location that would be safe that's not a shelter. And even if it's decided to place them in a shelter, 211 wouldn't necessarily place them in Manchester. They would place them where the bed is available, which could be any place in the Hartford region.
MAC, somebody's going to come to you. You guys are going to continue to feed people, give them assistance to find them places, how to get back on their feet, and help them get jobs and really get their life back going again. So I don't see the controversy, to be honest with you. I mean, people are still going to be taken care of.
I think that they'll go through what we were talking about tonight at the meeting, the 211 system, that you would call in. People will say, do you have a place to stay? Can you stay there? Is there any other place? And if not, they will refer them to shelters who have an open bed, and they will work on that treatment. If it's a Manchester or Bolton resident, we'll come alongside them and try to remove those barriers and maybe prevent an eviction, maybe help them with a job, or we're still exploring ways now that we will help our residents, but we're going to stay and remain local.
The closing of the shelter has been deemed a local issue, with many citing that Connecticut's Housing First initiative is in fact the right thing to do.
We were hearing from residents and the press and others that really were kind of giving MAC a black eye over the whole thing, and it was really disturbing to hear, because the shelter in Manchester and MAC has been in operation for a decade. I think that the people that were upset over it, and people that didn't understand the issues, I think were pointing their finger in the wrong direction. And it wasn't long that we were getting official letters from the executive director of the Connecticut Housing Development, and demanding that we oust MAC out, put somebody else in, and I don't think that addresses the issues of what the community is facing, not only our community, but all the communities.
With the abundance of group homes within Manchester, town officials aren't happy with the amount of effort they've had to put into sheltering the homeless, while other surrounding communities haven't been doing the same.
Where are the other communities? Why, Manchester's a very welcoming, always, but why aren't the surrounding suburban communities, why aren't there shelters there? Why aren't there group homes there? Why, 169 towns across the state of Connecticut, and there's some statistic, and I'll say 20 to 30, I might be a little bit higher, of the only communities that offer the group homes. Why isn't, I think we, to answer one of your earlier questions, if this is going to take on this issue, that we all have to be involved. It just can't be Manchester. So we need the assistance, and we need to be able to help everyone across the region and across the state.
And I think Manchester has done more than their fair share. We're seeing it in our budgets, we're seeing it in what's happening with issues within our community. And to our credit, we're kind of a victim of our own success. There were many people that were brought to Manchester and specifically dropped in front of MAC from other communities that didn't want to deal with the problem, and they moved it to Manchester. And we dealt with the problem, and MAC served those individuals.
With drug and alcohol abuse, especially among the homeless, and increasing concern in Manchester, town officials want to put a stop to this problem to help addicts get back on their feet.
My bigger concern with all this is that people with drug addictions and and alcohol addictions and some mental health issues, that we have the resources to help them to get back on their feet, not necessarily just to give them a bed at night so they go back and they deal with their problems again in the morning. So,
would you guys ever reconsider opening the shelter again?
If things were to change and the board wanted to entertain that, we would talk about it at that time, but right now there's no immediate plans to do that.
The final decision for the MAC shelters will be that they are closing on July 1st, and the Board of Directors fully support their decision.
As of May 1st, millions of high school seniors have committed to the school they will be attending in the fall of 2015. Ariel Ferrando asks Manchester seniors about their plans for college.
May 1st is an important date for those graduating high school, as academic and room and board deposits are due. As students decide what they're going to do after high school, Many factors go into consideration, including money, programs, and location.
I decided on UNH because it's not too far from home and I want to stay close to my nephew.
As soon as I got there, I just fell in love with the school. I love, it's a big school. I like the diversity and I just feel like it has a lot to offer.
I was looking at the majors as well as schools with athletic programs.
Seniors often apply to several different colleges.
I applied to 10 different colleges. I applied to American University,
George Mason University,
Hofstra University in New York,
Iona College,
Bryan University.
But it all comes down to the deciding factor.
Money, definitely. I ended up getting a full ride to Simmons College.
I wanted a smaller school where everyone kind of knew everyone.
I'm looking for a fun environment when there's a lot of things to do so we're not sitting in dorms bored all the time.
Once students were able to narrow down their options, they committed to the college that best fit their needs.
I'm going to St. Joe's, the University of Charleston,
St. Leo University in St. Leo, Florida,
the University of New Haven,
Bentley University,
Florida Atlantic University,
Temple University in Philadelphia.
Most students seem to be excited for college, although there are some who are nervous.
I'm excited to branch out and to meet new people and get new experiences.
I feel like I'm ready for college. A lot of students are nervous. That's a big step in their life, but I feel like I'm ready, and my parents prepared me well, so I'm excited.
What I'm most nervous about, kind of being away from home. It kind of sucks because I'm going to miss my siblings growing up.
I'm definitely nervous. I've never been that far away from home for that this long period of time.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss the music department.
Being a part of the MHS community and my baseball team. Go Indians.
I'll miss a lot of my friends who I won't get to see as often.
Manchester High School seniors are going to a variety of colleges next year. The Manchester community is looking forward to what the class of 2015 has to offer in the future. From Manchester Monthly, this has been Ariel Ferranda reporting.
It's great to hear that so many of Manchester's seniors will be moving on to bigger and better things next year.
All right, now it's time for your Friday morning trivia question.
And the question is, when and where is the Manchester High School graduation?
Again, the question is, when and where is the Manchester High School graduation?
If you think you know the answer, email Mr. Larson at b11elars@mpspride.org. Again, that's b11elars@mpspride.org, and good luck.
Little League is a rite of passage in the lives of many children. In Manchester, we have a well-organized league where kids can learn lessons about baseball and about life. Mike Bonino gives us the play-by-play on this Manchester tradition.
Manchester Little League is a recreational program in Manchester that allows children to start playing baseball at an early age. This program is offered to young children who want to develop skills and stay active. By getting involved in this program, kids are able to make friendships with people from all over town. Kevin Lynch and Andrew Stutz met each other through Little League and to this day are still best friends.
So one thing is that after all the all-star games, we'd usually go back to Kev's house or Mokes' house, and we would just chill, have sleepovers, play Xbox, and just chill, have fun.
I mean, Little League made us good friends because I could tell at such a young age we both had that same desire to win. We were both really competitive. It was basically we're the same people. We bonded very well. So, I mean, it's a bond that's never going to break. So.
The Little League baseball program teaches the young kids of the town of Manchester not only the basics to baseball, but how to be a good sport and a respectable person. The young baseball players who get put on the roster may not know each other, but by the end of the season, there's always a few guys who make a new best friend. Kevin and Andrew became best friends in Little League and to this day remain best friends, now playing as rivals here in Manchester at MHS and East Catholic High School.
It's actually pretty funny. Every time I pitch against him, no matter how good I am, he'll always hit the ball off me, and I just can never get him out. I know I'll probably pitch senior night, and I'm probably gonna strike you out, but I mean,
I don't know, man. I'm having a pretty good year this year.
I don't care.
Yeah, all right. You say that all the time, but I mean, playing against him as a rival, I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, I played on the same team as him my whole life, and I mean, going up against him now, it feels like we're just playing wiffle ball in my backyard again. I mean, nothing's really different.
Al McCall, a coach who has seen it all, shares some words about Little League friendships. Quote, he says, Little League creates all types of friendships. The most unlikely ones, for example, the big guy with the little guy, are the best player with the not so best. The friendships they build when they're at such a young age carry on into their later ages, and you still see them together to this day.
Baseball isn't all about being competitive. It's about having fun and making friends. From here out on the field, this has been Mike Bonino reporting.
For more information and upcoming games or to register your child, go to www.eteams.com/Manchester Little League.
As prom fastly approaches, high schoolers across the state scurry around to find the best outfit and the perfect prom date. Well, that's no different here in Manchester. Some students share their vision for their dream prom with Jenna Kelly.
Street beat. Hey, street beat. Hey, street beat. Street beat. Street.
High school students all over the town of Manchester struggle to pick out the ideal prom dress or the perfect tuxedo. The anxiety that someone might build in the selection process can be overwhelming. Some have a technique or preference in preparing for prom.
You know, it has to have like the slits on the side and then like up the leg. You know, it gotta look good.
Okay.
So I go to stores, I see what tux looks nice on me, and I cop it.
Go to Men's Warehouse and I look at the catalogs and I pick a color that I like and I just envision myself in that color.
Shopped online a little bit, looked for blue dresses because I wanted to go for blue. Something sparkly. Went on Amazon.com and promgirl.com.
Like trying on a bunch of different ones and just seeing like colors, which one I like, which one like goes with like my skin tone or whatever, and then just like the cut that I like.
It's hard, it's really stressful, but you just gotta find something that you really fall in love with.
Getting ready, yeah.
Being asked to prom takes a lot of thought and nerves. Students have certain ways they would like to be asked to prom, the promposal. This time of year, promposals happen every day, but some make the day even more memorable than others.
Asked prom by like some, I don't know, because we won this year for soccer, so I guess it's something like soccer related.
Something cute and sweet and simple. Anything like that.
Ended up taking the white chalk, they do the sidelines and the lines on the football field, and we wrote it all over the game field asking her to prom. I got in a little bit of trouble, but she went to prom with me.
Well, I got her a box of chocolates, some roses, and a big poster, and I put it outside her house and asked her to go to prom with me.
Might bring her some flowers, ask her pretty nice, go to her house. That's about it.
Nyla, we going to prom? We going to prom? Alright.
Prom season has surely arrived, and Manchester students will definitely look their very best. Have fun and stay safe on your special night. From Manchester Monthly, this has been Jenna Kelly reporting.
This year's Manchester High School senior prom theme is Under a Starry Night. We hope that the event lives up to everybody's dreams.
And I'm sure it will. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the May edition of Manchester Monthly. I'm Tegan Welch.
And I'm Pat Levitt.
And this has been Manchester Monthly.